Secondly, the Ponce de Leon had electric lights in every guest room. At that time, since electricity was just being introduced and not particularly reliable, fixtures often had both bulbs and were plumbed for gas. The hotel was wired for electricity from the start because Flagler was good friends with Thomas Edison. And if you're familiar with the Tesla-Edison shenanigans, you know that there are two kinds of power, alternating current and direct current. Because of Flagler and Edison's relationship, the hotel was direct current instead of alternating current. So DC, not AC. This early iteration was not the safest or most consistent power, and sometimes light bulbs would explode. This spooked the guests, and Flagler actually hired extra staff to turn lights off and on since the guests were afraid of getting shocked. So that was their one job. Having early electricity was also fairly high maintenance. 4 boilers fed by 8 tons of coal a day produced the steam needed to drive the direct current dynamos that lit up the Ponce, which featured more than 4,000 light bulbs. Electric lights didn't carry the same wow factor after a few years, but the hotel was still hard to beat. It even survived the Great Depression, only one of 3 Flagler hotels to do so, and was used during World War II as a training center for the Coast Guard. An interesting aside, I love learning all this other weird history. One of the men trained there when it was the Coast Guard station was Jacob Lawrence, who was already a noted artist. As an African American, he was limited to steward's mate, like he couldn't go any farther up in rank, but his superior still encouraged him to pursue his career in art. Lawrence went on to become the first African American to have his work hung in the Vatican and the White House. After the war, the Ponce was reopened as a hotel with brief success. The tumultuous 60s brought protests and sit-ins to St. Augustine. There were mass sit-ins at the dining room of the Ponce, as well as the Woolworth and other segregated locations in town. Social progress did not translate to tourism growth at the old hotel. Numbers of visitors declined, and it closed in 1967. Fortunately, the all-female Flagler College was founded the following year, and the hotel was saved. Its significance did not go unnoticed. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1975, and it became a National Historic Landmark in 2006. Coinciding with the nation's bicentennial, the college undertook a challenging restoration campaign in 1976 to bring the hotel to its historic glory. The Ponce celebrated 100 years in 1988 in its improved state, and a decade later went on to host tours for visitors from around the world. Having been there myself on several occasions, I'll say that it is definitely a must-see, and the layers of history that you can see in downtown St. Augustine all the way from the 1500s to the 1900s are just a fascinating testament to the rich history of Florida, which is not just beaches and old people.
That's right.
And suburbs.
Right.
And
Disney World.
And if you want to see drawings, blueprints of the Ponce de Leon, the originals are actually available online through the University of Florida, which is way cool.
Yeah.
Incredibly, the drawings had been lost, in quotations, until 2004 when they were found in a boiler room.
Oh, goodness.
So there were people that knew that these old musty drawings were in this room, but they didn't
do anything about it?
Know what the significance of these drawings were, and they didn't tell anyone. And I guess the right person came down there and they were like, "Are you kidding me?
Holy crap. Yeah.
We need to get these out of here and saved." So they were all scanned. So they're like the original plans and details, but there are also plans from when it was converted to the Coast Guard Training Center. So there's alterations, but there's 100, I feel like there's almost 200 drawings. It's quite a folio that's available through UF.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
So the college is still there, although I think it's co-ed now. Mm-hmm. And you can actually see.
I don't know when it turned from all girls to co-ed.
Yeah, I actually looked at.
It's very small.
Attending there when I was looking at schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't have a historic preservation program, which seems ridiculous to me. But
yeah, I agree. No, yes,
but I will say Flagler has a or did have a bad reputation for tearing things down. Of course, people would leave property to them, and even if it had historic...
How is that possible if they're the ones that decided to spend a gazillion dollars to restore that hotel?
Right.
And there are other historic buildings that are part of their campus. I mean, they were the ones that did the giant campaign to save it.
Yeah, they were just... They pick and choose what they want. They've ruffled quite a few feathers in the past about getting property left to them and then tearing down what they deem is not historic, even though it is historic.
That's crazy.
I don't know if they've gotten better in recent years. This was probably back when I was either in school or just after I graduated, so early to mid 2000s. But yeah, St. Augustine. I love it. I need to go back. I haven't been since last spring. I had to go to Daytona for a project. Yeah.
I was just there 2 years ago because Mom ran in the
that's right, the
half marathon.
That's right.
That's when I took all the pictures.
That's on my list of half marathons to run.
No, don't ever do a half marathon.
I've done 2. I've got to get, now that
who wants to run that far?
Crazy people like me.
Yes.
I have had a stress fracture in the last couple weeks, and now that it's finally healed, I can start running again. My goal is the Charleston half marathon in January.
Nope. I'll stand out there with the cowbell and cheer you on.
Yay! That'll make me feel...
If it's not before 9 a.m.
Okay.
Well, I might. I can wake myself up for that.
I am kind of slow, so it probably would be a little after 9 o'clock.
Okay.
But yeah, St. Augustine is great. And if you go, you can take tours of the Ponce de Leon / Flagler College now, which I have not done for some reason.
I haven't done it.
We were going to go do it, and either it got canceled or something happened. I don't remember, but we ended up not doing it. And shame on me. So I haven't even been in the Leitner Museum.
I have not been in the Leitner, and I will tell you that looking at some of the historic pictures about the Alcazar made me wonder why I had never gone to the Leitner, because it's really, really amazing.
Yeah. And he also built the Casa Monica.
I don't know what that is.
That one is literally like a triangle. It's like Ponce de Leon, Leitner Museum / Alcazar hotels across the street, and then the Casa Monica is there on the corner. And it's been restored into a hotel now.
Oh, is that what it's called?
It is the Casa Monica now. I think it was the Casa Monica back then as well. Okay,
because I read whatever other hotel, what it was originally, and I know what you're talking about.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
Grand Moroccan themed lodging. But it's a Marriott hotel, and I've got Marriott rewards points, so I totally need to look that up and see how much it would be. I've been married nearly 10 years. In a couple weeks, it'll be 10 years. And I was talking to my dad about how I should have gotten married in St. Augustine, because we talked about it. And my dad was like, I would have totally paid for the whole thing if you got married in St. Augustine. I was like, really?
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, thanks for telling me that. Oh, okay. So it was not Flagler who built it. It was Franklin Smith.
Yeah, I did know that.
Okay.
No, Flagler did the Ponce and
the Alcazar.
Correct. Yeah. Alcazar, and Smith did his own, the Villa Zarata.
Yeah.
And that one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it opened in 1888. So
the same year.
Same year. Wow. Okay. Yep. It's like, hey, everybody come build a hotel in St. Augustine,
Florida.
Oh, okay. So Franklin Smith ran into financial difficulties and sold the hotel to Henry Flagler.
Yes.
So.
Yep, he did.
Oh, it was the Cordova Hotel, and Henry Flagler renamed it Casa Monica.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Believe it or not, that is not the end of the story. So
it's not.
I was kind of light on the scandal side today with good old Henry. And I mean, he's not a horrible person, but he does get in some interesting marital situations come next episode. So you don't want to miss that.
And I'll tell you about his houses.
Right. Yeah, we're going to be discussing his numerous houses.
Well, 2 of them.
2 of them. Not Satan's toe.
Nope. Not, although Maybe.
She's like, I have to look that
I'm
up
interested
now.
because I only know about Whitehall. I didn't even know about
Satan's Toe.
Well, certainly not that, but the one in St. Augustine.
Satan's Toe is going to be the drink of the night, I think. We'll have to
garnished with a digit of your choice.
Yes.
Pointer, pinky.
Ew.
No.
A toe.
A toe.
Oh God, this is like devolving into a Halloween cocktail.
It does kind of sound that way, doesn't it? Should have saved this one for October.
I know. So yeah, join us next week for the next episode on Henry Flagler and Satan's Toe.
Yep.
And his other houses. So,
yep.
As always, please check us out on Facebook and Instagram or the website, which is scandalsheetspod.com. If you have any suggestions for a episode, please give us a shout out. You can get us on Facebook or you can email us at scandalsheetspod@gmail.com. A big thank you to the folks who have sent me some suggestions so far via Facebook and Instagram. We are definitely checking those out, and they may feature in a future episode. Also, if you enjoyed this podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe to us on your podcatcher of choice. We are available on Apple Podcasts / iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn app.
It's easier to tell them where you can't find it.
Right. Which I'm not sure.
But you should probably tell. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is. We're nationwide.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I can't do really bad rendition of ZZ Top songs. That's what that is, nationwide.
Oh, I'm just thinking of the
I'm
insurance.
bad. I'm nationwide.
No.
Okay.
All I can think of is the insurance commercial.
Yeah.
But
you clearly were not raised in the South if you were not known for ZZ Top.
It's true, I was not.
Yeah. That's sad. We need to educate you on Southern rock.
No.
You're like,
well, I know who they are, but
okay.
yes.
I remember growing up. See if you remember this. Do you remember they were live action fairy tales?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you do?
I watched all of them.
Yes, they were the best.
The one that Shelley Duvall hosted?
Yes.
Heck yes.
And
the 12 Dancing Princesses was my favorite.
Yes. I think Rapunzel was my favorite.
Watched every single one of them.
I know. And one of them was the old man in the tub, or the three mice in the tub.
I don't know this.
ZZ Top was in it though.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing.
They were. And I mean, they had because I mean, they're kind of known for their big grandpa beard.
Yeah, exactly.
And they all had it. They were like the three blind mice. That was it. They were the three blind mice. I'm pretty sure that was what they were.
But I do remember that for sure. I really enjoyed them. Faerie Tale Theatre.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh God, I love
82 to 87.
Yes. Okay, so that was Mother Goose Rockin' Rhyme. That was 1990. So it was still Shelley Duvall, but it was kind of like an addendum. Cyndi Lauper was in it. Art Garfunkel.
Robin Williams and Terry Garr, Tale of the Frog Prince. Absolutely remember every moment of that. Jean Stapleton, love her.
Deborah Harry, aka Blondie.
Debbie Harry, of course. Rumpelstiltskin, definitely saw that.
Yep.
Rapunzel. The Nightingale had Mick Jagger. Get out.
Oh, Little Richard was in it too.
Sleeping Beauty, saw that. Loved it. Jack and the yeah, literally saw all of these.
Yep. This is awesome.
Amazing.
So yes, I'm sure you could probably find it on YouTube, I bet.
Wait, what? The Boy Who Left Home to Find Out About the Shivers? How's that? Yeah, I saw most of these. Maybe not the later ones. No, where's the 12 Dancing Princesses? Because I for sure saw that. And that was here, the Dancing Princesses. Yep. That was the last episode in 1987.
Yes, Faerie Tale Theatre is on YouTube.
No.
This is happening.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the people, so this is the same thing as the Muppet Show. The type of people,
right?
Like Harry Dean Stanton, Christopher Reeve, Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah.
These crazy, awesome people. Helen Mirren, Brian Dennehy, Pam Dauber. Listen to this. Like,
you know, it's like totally.
Everyone was in this. Peter Weller. What?
Is that Matthew Broderick? No way.
No. Ellen Barkin. Howie Mandel. Hilarious. Robert Carradine. Leonard Nimoy. Wait, what?
It's Spock.
There was the Emperor.